Okay, so I show up at this place and it's just like a kid in a candy store, a really junky candy store. There's stuff everywhere, and I'm, you know, trying to take it all in, and I can clearly see this is going to be one of those places where I could be here for hours digging through stuff, and my hands are going to be really filthy and covered with a lot of probably resin from mouse poop and mouse pee and just filth. But as usual, with a little bit of digging, even though quite a few people apparently had already come and looked at some stuff and found a few items, uh, with quite a bit of digging, I was able to find a couple of little items here. And on some of the items, it was a little tough to deal, and I backed off on some items, and on some other items, I was able to score, and things loosened up as time went on, and I scored a few things. And I'll show you the first item I popped on was I spotted this mag base. All right, so this is the first item I came across, and it's a mag base, and I'm always kind of a sucker for an unusual mag base, and I hadn't seen one this style before. I think it was kind of neat, caught my eye. It reminds me of an old locomotive. Not a really old locomotive, but can you kind of see what I'm seeing as far as the shape goes? It's got like I don't know, I don't know if it's really deco, but uh, it's got the two magnet rails on the bottom here, and it's got quite a bit of adjustability to it. I haven't quite figured out. I think this should loosen a lot easier. I can't get that to turn at all. That might take a little bit of love. There's also this interesting little feature right here. Not quite sure. Oh, I see what this is. I just figured out what that is. See, when you push this lever right here, there's a cam action that causes this to push out. And you know what that is? That's release. That's if these magnets are really pulling strong on something. When you push this, that little foot causes this to push up and just enough to make this easy to release. That's kind of neat. So I hadn't seen one this style before, and then I didn't even look at the name on it. I just said, hey, I'd be interested in this mag base. And he's like, he didn't want to throw out prices on anything. He wanted me to come with a price and then get back to him. So I looked at it and I said, oh, it's got a stare it button back indicator on it, which I could care less about because I've got, a mint one of these in the case with all of the fixins. And this one, what's this model? You'd think I'd know this off the top of my head, but I don't. So I think this is a 196, okay, button back indicator. And it needs a little love. It's sticking. So it would need somebody to, it's funny, once you get to a point it sticks, but it's actually not bad up until, well, it looks like the first 50,000s it's okay. So that would indicate it's actually more of something just on this rod needs to be cleaned off, maybe. But again, that's not what I wanted this for. I wanted it for this neat little indicator stand. So I said, hey, take $5 for it. And, first he kind of like, geez, he's probably thinking, boy, this guy's going to be cheap. And I think his initial thought was to say no. But mind you, he's had people in and out. Nobody had picked this thing up, I guess, previous to me and shown any interest in it. And it was funny because he was kind of looking at the stare it indicator, I think, and thinking, boy, $5 for a stare it indicator. And meanwhile, in my head, I'm thinking, I just want the base. So I was about to suggest, because he was kind of, hemming and hawing about it or thinking about it, as he was mulling it over, I was about to suggest that if he wants, he can keep the indicator. And right before I said that, he said, yeah, okay, go ahead. So I got this for $5. So this is really filthy. I'm just wondering how much that would clean up. I think because it's a plastic dial cover, or I don't know. I don't know what you call these. I call them crystals, like a watch crystal, but it's not crystal at all. It's plastic. So anyways, let's just Let's just give this the least bit of love. Now what the heck happened here? Why is my spray bottle not working? Huh. Crying out loud. My LA Awesome's not seeming so awesome. Oh yeah, it is. My LA Awesome's awesome. It's the bottle it's in that's not awesome. Alright. Look at that. How do you like them apples? You guys checking this out? Oh yeah. Look how pretty that cleaned up. But as soon as you go past there, it's sticking. That's just gravy. It was the little stand that I wanted. So anyways, this is a Lufkin, and it's a Mighty Mite, but it's spelled M-I-T-I hyphen M-I-T-E. So it's a strange spelling. Mighty Mite, Lufkin. And it's got a neat little logo there of this dude. And he's got the body of a horseshoe magnet, and he's got the big guns there, the big biceps. Check him out. So a lot of the other items I had there, I kind of talked about that I probably want to put together a pile, and maybe we could work something. As I started putting together, going over to one area and finding similar items that I could bring over. You know, I'd find a twist drill bit over here, and I'd find one over here, so I kind of kept bringing them back to this area and making a pile. I was making the pile right in front of one of the other items that he had mentioned to me, and the box was dirty and rusty, so I didn't realize what it was at first, but as soon as he described it, I said, oh, I knew exactly what it was. Another tool post grinder. Now, you guys saw that I'd scored a hell of a buy on a tool post grinder at an estate sale. So I didn't need one, and as a matter of fact, that was actually the second tool post grinder I've purchased, both Dumores. One was a smaller one, and then there was this larger one. Well, lo and behold, here's another one. And, you know, he had mentioned that he had it advertised on Craigslist, I guess for a couple $100, somewhere around 200, 250, and he hadn't had any luck. And he was basing his asking price on what he's seen them sell for on probably eBay or something like that. And, you know, the problem is that if you want that kind of money, then you got to be willing to do the eBay route, which means shipping that thing. So what ended up happening was I was kind of hesitant, and he was like, don't worry about insulting me. You know, throw me an offer. So I was thinking I was about to tell him I'd give him $50 for it. When he said, you want it for 75? And I chuckled. I said, actually, I was just about to tell you 50. And he said, So he said, I don't know. And then what he ended up saying was, he had said just a little while before that there was another guy on his way here to pick up, he had a Kennedy 2-draw center box, you know, an intermediate box for a narrow one for a Kennedy toolbox set up there. And he had advertised that for $75 and on Craigslist. So anyways, that guy was coming to pick that up, and he was going to look around some other stuff, and he says, well, when I told him $50, he says, well, would you mind if I wait to see if this guy might want it? In other words, if you're only going to offer me $50 for it, let me see what this guy is willing to give me for it. So I knew right then and there, I got to, you know, either give him $75 for it and be done, or take my chances and see what happens. Well, believe it or not, I decided to roll the dice. And I'm glad I did, because the guy who showed up, I don't think he ever even saw the centerless grinder, and they gotten so tied up in a conversation, I don't even know if the other guy even mentioned it to him. What that guy did was he bought a hunk of brass stock about this long, about that big around. I don't remember what he got it for, but he got a good deal on that. And he found a set of indexing plates with holes in them for an indexer that the guy had already sold. So he had sold an indexer a while back, and I guess also a rotary table. But they didn't find the plates, and now this guy found the plates. So I don't remember what he gave the guy for them. I don't even know why he wanted them. They're probably going to be on eBay soon. Anyways, he snagged those indexer plates, and I don't think he bought much more than that. And he ended up leaving. So a little while after he left, I said, oh, well, I said, so that other guy didn't take the grinding. You want to do the $50 on the grinding? And he said, yeah, okay. So I got this Dumore tool post grinding for $50. So let's take a look at this crusty mold. All right, guys, so there it is. You can still see some of the classic green paint that these early Dumore cases had on them. You can see the remnants of the Dumore, precision Dumore decal, but especially the top got a lot of rust. So that didn't bode well. But as luck would have it, inside it's actually pretty devoid of rust. And the first thing I noticed when I opened it up was this little beauty right here. And what this is a whole nother arbor. And it doesn't feel so great. It's going to probably need some attention. But look at this thin little taper shank this comes down to. I could see where this would be handy for getting deep down inside of a hole to grind an ID. It's also got the shield here. That's good. Oftentimes that goes missing. Well, what on earth do we have here? All right. That's some funky, scary looking electrical work we got here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this out of here and just put the grinder on the bench so we can scope that out. All right, there it is. All right, this mandrel seems to be in better shape. A little noisy, but it's not. It spins smoothly as opposed to this one here, which has got some kind of weird, like drag going on inside there. Got a collet on the end here with a closer, and yep, there's a little collet inside there. We got one small, really small pulley on here and a really small pulley on here. That's pretty much, by the looks of it, that's going to be a 1-to-1. So that's going to spin this thing pretty darn fast. So what is this? This is this is another number 5 Dumore the Master, which I believe the last one I bought was just that. Number 5 Dumore the Master, this is a full load 10,000 RPM, no load 15,500 RPM motor. So if this motor's cooking that fast, and then you're going to turn around, you're going to have a 1-to-1, boy, that's cooking. That's fast. So this has got a funky deal here. The cord. I think this is quite different than my other one. Look at this. I was making fun of this cord, thinking this looked kind of hinky to me, but lo and behold, look at that. That's actually the correct plug for this thing. This actually plugs in like that, and then this, I'm hoping that's green for ground. Yeah. Must be, yeah, okay, that screws right to the case. So this is a ground. So there you go. For safety's sake, you get to hook this on. Look at that. Oh, gotta love that. Well, This is kind of a dicey deal with the toggle switch here, just taped up with electrical tape. Yeah, I don't know. This might not be safe. So, of course, we should plug this right in. I don't know if this toggle switch is on or off. So, she gets rocking and rolling the second I plug it in, we'll know it's on. That seems fine. I tell you what, that actually, for the age of this thing, that does not sound bad at all. What do you think, guys? Dare I put a belt on that thing? I'm going to conclude this probably tomorrow morning as a Sunday morning sneak down, which means if I'm going to run this thing, I better do it tonight. So what's the deal here? This is spring-loaded, I guess. Let's see. Where's my safety glasses? I think I'm going to don some safety glasses for this one. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. You know, a good indication, if things are really out of whack or bent on this thing, I would expect this to be vibrating much worse than it is. Hey, that's not bad at all. I'm going to call it quits there for tonight, and we'll pick this up tomorrow morning. We'll go through the box and see what goodies are in there.